Welcome to Full Scope, a podcast designed to analyze the games that we love, headlines of music, and the movies we can't forget. I'm your host, Wendell Burns, on my counterpart, Savon Morris. Packers playing Lions tonight. Game face. How's it going, man?
I almost canceled, bro.
I
I,
know.
I
I was about to
almost
say.
canceled. I'm not gonna lie to
I
you,
feel you.
but I'm gonna catch the tail end of it. I have the live stuff on the computer as well as the notes. So we're
Yeah,
gonna
man.
if I get like what I'm looking
Multitask.
like this, yeah, oh yeah,
Wellington, do a
exactly.
monologue. Well, we have a lot of topics to get into for this episode. Obviously, the breaking news of Damian Lillard heading to Milwaukee, some NFL topics, college football ones, album reviews. In the second half, we're going to do a review of Snowpiercer. Finally, I know I teased
Finally,
it.
right?
We're finally getting to it, but I'm gonna start off with Damian Lillard heading to Milwaukee and kind of like where does this place the Bucks in the hierarchy of the East? The breaking news of yesterday was a shock to many as this was a 3-team deal, and the full trade involves the Blazers receiving Drew Holiday, Atumani Kamara, the Suns receiving Yusuf Nurkic, Nasir Little, Keon Johnson, and Grayson Allen. And this is one of those trades where the rumblings of it finally being completed were happening. People thought September was going to be the month.
Yeah,
Miami was kind of the pick that people were thinking. But I really feel as though, man, when you put a duo of Dame and Giannis together, obviously we know what Giannis can do. And now you have a guy who can create in the half court. The tempo, it can be slowed down. He can go get buckets. Like in that Miami series, you saw nobody could really get a bucket outside of Giannis. And Giannis was
yeah.
even hampered with injuries. Um, this to me, this puts them at the top of the East in terms of favorites. What do you think about this move, and also how is it going to affect Milwaukee's future and the Blazers?
I think this puts them at number one. You know, at number one in the East. You look at all the answers the questions they answered with that move, and
Yeah,
you're able. And a lot of people keep seeing this pick with Giannis and Damian Lillard. What about Chris Middleton?
that's
Uh,
he keeps
you
getting
know,
not mentioned.
Exactly. They keep Lopez. They keep a core group of the guys that assisted them in winning the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
So they were able to keep great pieces as well as add Damian Lillard, who you just said named all those things that he can do, and he can take the load off of Giannis. I think that's the biggest thing. And Giannis can play bully ball more, feed him the rock, and let the 3-point shooters do what they do best. They're going to be great on defense. So I
yeah,
think this puts them there. The future, I think the future is bright. We all knew that Giannis, if they didn't answer a bunch of questions for Giannis in that organization, just like Luka Doncic with the Mavericks,
Mavericks.
that he was possibly going to go into the free agency and try to go somewhere else. I think they answered a bunch of questions. Yeah, we know Dame said he didn't want to play anybody but Miami, but I think this should put a huge smile on his face because he became a NBA contender, NBA finals contender that
Instantly.
fast.
Overnight.
Instantly. Even with the Heat, it was going to be some questions unanswered. But, are these guys going to be the same? Some guys are coming off injuries. They move the pieces around. But you become an instant NBA Finals
The top.
contender. You
You're
could
going
go.
to the top.
You're number one in the East So I think he'll be satisfied. I think he'll resign. So Chris Middleton is already on a longer contract. Bobby is another essential piece that's still there. So they were able to obtain a bunch of things that were going to make them number one as we like. So I love the pick. It was unexpected. I was like, what?
I was literally on break. I was literally on break at work. It's a typical Wednesday afternoon. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
nothing crazy's happening. Look at my phone. Damian Lillard head to Milwaukee. I'm like, what? What is
Who
happening?
made this happen? And then obviously when the details came, I was like, oh, obviously this had to be a 3-team
Oh yeah,
trade
for sure.
because they didn't have enough for them just to like give him over there and give them back. That's where they were able to keep those pieces, which is a smart move. So man. But on paper, see, we got to say that on paper, this looks amazing. They're number one, but obviously you have to get on the court, gel, and
We've
do
learned our
the
lesson.
small
Me and
things. Yeah, we
Savon have
learned
learned our
yeah,
lessons a few
long
years ago
time
when
ago.
we did the on paper team.
Yeah,
You all
it
know who
started
the
with
on
the
paper team.
Celtics. Yeah, the Celtics. They were my goodness.
Exactly. And one more thing about this is the Drew Holiday aspect of this, because he
Ah,
was
yeah,
such a vital defender. And I mean, 10 times out of 10, if you can get a player like Damian Lillard, you're gonna make this trade happen because you're gonna have to give up something substantial. But Dame
right.
is a once in a generation type of scorer, and playmaker. Like, what do you think about the defensive impact they're missing that they lose with Drew Holiday? But also, I feel as though they can still find defenders that can shore it up, even though they won't be at the level of a Drew Holiday.
Yeah, I hate it for Drew Holiday because he just put a post like
Wants to
previously before
retire.
this happened, wants to retire and be a buck for life. But
Yeah.
this is a business, and I understood it. Then I think the Trailblazers going to allow him to get traded to another team so he can contend again for championship. What I think is beautiful. Who knows? He might end up back at the Bucks some weird,
Whoever
crazy
picks him
way.
up, whoever picks him up is going to have a skill. Imagine if Boston or Miami get him. That's
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah,
yeah,
because he could give you some buckets as well. But I think obviously he's the best, best on the defensive side. I think he
right.
brings that grittiness and that IQ. He has a great IQ. I've seen him hold a couple of guys. I'm like, yo, man, he has it. Why did we sleep on Drew Holiday for all those years? Even when he was with it was
Pelicans.
Pelicans. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to call them the what was it before the Pelicans? It's been so long. Man, I
Hornets.
can't. The Hornets. And they were the Hornets. Okay, that was my first thought. I was like, no, that's Charlotte. But we slept on him for a long time. I think in recent years, he showed how good of an asset he is for basketball teams,
Yeah.
especially for the Bucks. We've seen that countless times, especially when they won the championship. But hopefully, goes to a team that he's able to contend. But
Yeah.
whoever gets him, like you said, he's going to be a gem
Oh,
because
for
he's
sure.
that type of guy. He breathes football. He breathes battle. Look, I'm doing like Charles Barkley. I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
I guarantee.
I guarantee it.
And now I'm transitioning to the Bengals win versus the Rams on Monday night. Cincinnati won 19-16 at home, and Joe Burrow threw for a season high 259 yards as he shaked off his calf injury. Jamar Chase broke out with 12 catches for 141 yards, and obviously this was a must win for Cincinnati because you don't want to go down 0-3, even though they have
No.
started off slow in past seasons, and now they're getting back into that groove. What did you think about this win for them, and also just how they can kind of get back into that offensive um, just efficiency that we're used to seeing from them late in the season in conference championships?
It starts with the running game.
Yeah,
And for a quarterback who's coming off a hamstring, throwing 49 times, you might would say it's 50. Let's round up.
yeah,
His game back, it's you don't want that. Even though, Chase went off for 141 yards, no touchdowns, but that's a lot of strenuous work for a quarterback coming off that type of injury who's still injured, who wasn't as mobile. We've seen that in a couple. That's why he was getting sacked by
yeah,
Aaron Donald. But you don't want that. You need the running game. Joe Mixon, the play calling has to be different. They have to switch it up, get creative with the play calling, get the running game working as fast as possible. this The running game is the key to all offenses. Like this is not
bread and butter.
rocket science. It's the bread and butter. It opens up so much for the quarterback, the wide receivers, the offensive line that gives them breather. Like it gets them that confidence. It's so much that goes into the running game. They didn't have it. 19 attempts, 65 yards. I won't say they didn't try. 19 attempts is pretty big, and they
Yeah,
have the ball longer than the Rams, but it has to get that started. Give Joe Burrow, the guy you just paid millions of dollars, a chance to heal, a chance to
mm,
breathe a little bit by getting that running game started. You see all these other teams, the Philadelphia Eagles,
right.
the Miami Dolphins, the 49ers, the running game is working really well, and it makes things easier for the quarterback. So that's the
Mhm.
thing they need to get done. That's what I didn't see in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Rams came up close in this one. To you, like and looking at what they can do to kind of like because we didn't have a lot of expectations for them this year, but they have
No.
played better this season. Matthew Stafford has been playing well. What did you see from the Rams and kind of like how they can find a way to have a successful season?
Outside of he had 15 targets, 12 receptions, 141 yards. I thought the defense played really well. It should have been worse than that. They
Yeah,
it's a bend not break type of mentality with the Rams. The secondary is still it was a couple
iffy.
drop passes to drop interceptions, but I think they play really well. The offense has to find their new identity, as you seen from previous years. Cooper Cup, these
Right.
guys, Robert Woods, previously, they don't have Cooper Cup right now. He's hurt. They don't have that number one receiver. They have a bunch of role players just like the Chiefs, if you
Mhm.
will. So they have to find a new identity. Matthew Stafford just coming back. He's not fully acclimated. He's getting older. He's a veteran quarterback. He's getting older. So there's running game, once again, is non-existent. So they got to find a new identity. They just got rid of Cam Akers for out of whatever reason.
Yeah.
but they have to find a new identity in that offense. Matthew Stafford needs help. Somebody in that wide receiver core has to come up and say, I'm the number one wide receiver and I'm going to show it.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's talking about Nakua, who's had what he had five receptions, 7 targets. He's a big time story. NFL, all media loves these type of stories. So if he's the number one guy, then he has to step above everything and be that guy. But they need a new identity with the Rams, the offense. I think the defense is okay. Have the bend, not break mentality, and I think that front seven is going to get you in games and make late stops in the game that'll get you opportunity to get the ball back.
Absolutely. And now moving on to the Eagles, them being 3-0, winning against Tampa Bay, 25-11. Jalen Hurts, he threw for a TD. They led 25-3 by the time the Bucs got into the end zone on Baker Mayfield's 1-yard TD throw to Mike Evans. And it's interesting because the sentiment around the Eagles is like they're 3-0, but they also haven't gotten into that peak form of what we see, like that dominant type of performances that we saw from them last year. They're still kind of getting into their groove in a sense. To you, what have you seen from the Eagles 3-0 so far? But also, even though they haven't looked at their optimal version, I mean, 3-0 is a great way to start the season. This is the second time, this consecutive years that they're 3-0 for the first time in their history. So, what is your analysis for the Eagles so far?
I think they're very close, to be honest with you. You look at this offensive line and their running game. The running game is working. Swift was a great addition this offseason. He looks like he's a poised running back. He can do all facets of the game. Man, he looks good. That running game looks really good. It makes things easier for Jalen Hurts. Now, the one thing that I will take away from the offense is the connections right now with the wide receiver core. Yeah, Brown, this is the first game Brown had an amazing game, 131 yards, 9 catches. He had 14 targets. You can see the bickering the first 2 games of why that connection wasn't there. They're butting heads. Now they figured it out. So that's the only knack I had against that offense because they got some big time wide receivers on the edge and some guys in the slot that can do damage. This offense is really, 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 really really good. And they've shown that with the running game. And now if they can get a consistency with the connection with the wide receivers, the running game is going to be there. Led by Kelce, he's a future Hall of Famer.
Oh,
so
sure.
I think they're close. Defense look good. They got the Philadelphia Georgia Bulldogs. So they have
got to merge the two teams. Got to merge.
Yeah, you have
together.
to, bro. Because Carter's having a great seat. Like the defense looked really good. So they're checking a lot of boxes. Fletcher Cox came back for another year. Still looks really good. So I think they're very close. I think the offense has to have more consistent basis when it comes to finding their wide receivers. The running game is going to get them there. He had 130 yards, Wellington. Like he was jumping over people. He was swift.
He was Swift.
Okay, that was weak. That was weak. That was weak. That was weak. I could have developed that a little better, but whatever. It's been a long day. You know what I'm talking
Swift,
about?
not like Taylor.
Oh, that's better. That's better.
Yo, what did you think about the Kelce Swift phenomenon?
Bro, she's a marketing. She's marketing amazing, bro.
Yo, she's going to the Jets game Sunday night. The NFL gave her a call. Like, hey, come to the game.
What the guy said? The girl with the long back off of. To have a long back, she brings a lot, boy. Yeah, man, that's crazy. I don't know if he didn't know that, but I don't know. It's kind of a weird relationship because that doesn't seem like they're not in a relationship. That's like I don't know what they're doing. I don't care. They don't pay my bills, but everything's skyrocketed.
Everything's skyrocketing. Kelsey's podcast is the number 1 podcast on Apple. Just happened to
Jersey sales went up. Yo, everything. That's insane.
I was listening to his podcast. He said, hey, what can I say? It was a good day. Just so casual about it. Well, all right, Kelsey.
Okay, yeah. Is she the best thing that happened to you this year?
Best. Best I ever had.
Drizzy!
And now getting to our next topic with the Cardinals upset of the Cowboys. Arizona won 28-16. Joshua Dobbs threw for 189 yards and a touchdown. James Conner and Ronald Moore both ran for a touchdown. And obviously with this game, this was kind of one of the biggest surprises this past Sunday with how the Cowboys looked the first two games, and so many times, to me, the reoccurring theme when they were in the red zone, the Dallas could not convert. They just
Yes.
got stagnant, and that's what I always look at as the thing that keeps me from buying into them, because I'm like, you're gonna see that in the postseason. You're gonna be in the red zone a lot of times, but can you convert? Can Dak deliver?
Yeah.
He wasn't able to do that. To you, what were your takeaways from this upset?
So, one of my this is a bunch of takeaways, and I obviously started at number one. One of the takeaways is Cardinals' offensive line is better than I thought they were going to be.
Man,
Obviously, Dobbs didn't have it in an amazing game, but Parsons didn't have the crazy game like I thought he was. Lawrence didn't have the crazy game or foul. None of these defensive guys, they were running the ball really well against them. That was one of the biggest surprises as well. That's number two takeaway. Like their ability to run the ball on this stacked Dallas defense, who's top 5 in the league. I mean, I know it's only 4 games, but top 5. That's crazy to do. And I mean, James Conner is a good running back, but I thought this defense, the first 3 games, nobody was able to really run on this Dallas Cowboys defense, and they were able to do it. This offensive line is better than I thought it was. And then Dak Prescott, another takeaway, Dak always wants to play hero ball. The interception, I try to make so many excuses for him. That last interception in the red zone, there's 3 guys over there. It's nowhere. Man.
The one coverage.
Yeah. One excuse I say, as an NFL quarterback, sometimes you have to throw your wide receiver open. You have to be confident to be able to do that. But that's 3 guys. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And 3. Like, you know what I mean? That's 3 guys. I see if it was 2 guys, you can, thread the needle a little bit, put it somewhere that he can only get it, and it goes out in the end zone. The ball, it was a bad ball. You got 3 guys there. The decision making before Dak Prescott has not gotten better. And that's the one thing, just one of many things I have that's a negative mark against Dak Prescott as an NFL quarterback. He doesn't make great decisions, and he plays hero ball too often. I think the contract of him being the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys gets to him sometimes. But, man, Cardinals just look better.
They did.
Running, it just looked
Point
better.
blank.
They capitalized on red zone way more than the Dallas Cowboys. And I mean, it wasn't like they wasn't moving the ball in the Cardinals. I mean, the running game was working. He was, the reads outside was working.
Yeah.
And they were, but it was, Dak Prescott has to make better decisions. The running game was working for the Cardinals. And I think that was a difference maker. That makes Dobbs not have to be this incredible quarterback and throw 20 to 35 times a game and throw an interception, make the defense. So the running game worked for them. Again, listeners, Full Scope Podcast listeners, if you watch football, root for the running game. Look for the running game. It's going to make things easier. Dobbs had a decent game because that running game was working with James Conner.
Absolutely. And now getting into the Dolphins, I don't even know what to call it. A story. When I saw 70, I was like, no, there's no way. There's no way. Bro, my phone is like
Tua was out by halftime, bro. The backup gave him the rest.
Exactly. But I mean, everybody was talking about this on Sunday with the performance they have, winning 70-20 against Denver. They also recorded nearly as many rushing yards as passing yards, averaging 10.2 yards per play in the process. They're also the first team in NFL history to record 5 passing touchdowns and 5 rushing touchdowns in the same game. And obviously, the Dolphins' offense is just humming week after week. Tua is looking just exceptional and really dialed in. To you, like what when you look at a game like this, does this more so tell you like, man, the Dolphins are really good, or Denver is just in a disastrous position?
So, okay, before this game, Denver's defense was the back end. They were like 30, 31, and 32. Now they're 32, 32, 32 out of all. It's rushing, offense, and points per game. That was before they played the Miami Dolphins.
Right.
They look terrible. I mean, but this defense has been on the decline since last year, man. So Tua and all these weapons they have a lot of weapons. I think, one, we have to take them seriously now. because of the weapons that they do have. Now, I didn't know they have, the Akon or A Sean or No Sean, whatever the backup running back name
Big
is.
Sean.
Yeah, Big Sean. But Mostard, Jalen Waddle, man, the Cheetah. Like, there's a lot of weapons back there, and
Yeah.
McDaniels has simplified this offense for Tua, and Tua
Sure.
is playing with a lot more confidence, and they're protecting him. This offensive line has gotten better. He's not taking the hits like he did last year.
Right.
Like, he was getting killed. And I think, one, you improve your offensive line. Two, he gets the ball out of his hands pretty fast. And if the running game is working, that open, once again, full scope listeners and pocket listeners, running game helps the quarterback. And that's another reason why he's not getting hit as much, because now you're afraid of the running game. You got linebackers coming in. You got to play action. You got one-on-one on the outside. You got Jalen Waddle and Cheeto on the outside. But they're afraid of running that cover 3 or cover 0, which is, middle linebacker has the middle zone. You have the safety over top, because those guys are faster. They're going to stay in cover 2, and that opens the running lane for open lanes for the running game, because the safety's back there because they're trying to take the wide receivers out of the game. But anywho, that was a little breakdown. If you don't know what cover 2 or cover 4 is,
breakdown corner.
Breakdown.
You gotta let them cook.
Yo, that's so funny. But yeah, we got to take them serious right now. But their schedule is going to get this week. They have Buffalo. Then you got Philly.
Going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to that Miami Buffalo game.
Yeah, Miami, Buffalo. You got Philly. I think they squeaked by with New England. New England's going to get better. They're a better second half of the schedule team. You got Kansas City. You got and then it gets crazy. I mean, it gets weak again. But I think the middle of the season is going to show if they're really serious. They're going to play some good teams. This week is going to be serious as well. Yeah. If
Buffalo has looked really good ever since that week 1. Like that week, I don't know if it was, because some people have said, when you have such a crazy game like that and the star quarterback goes out, your intensity and kind of focus goes down a little, because you're like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is out and you're not playing at that, because obviously they didn't play as well to finish it. I'm not saying that's the reason why, but these last 2 weeks they've looked like what we expect from Buffalo. Even from the last year, like really.
You know why? Really, the decision making is better. You're not throwing 3 interceptions like before. Last year, he played this. I call this hero ball. Yeah. He's been playing hero ball, trying to force things, trying to force people open, trying to force throws. His first 2 seasons, he by the book. By the book. If it's not there, I'm running the football. I'm extending the play with my legs. That's why people started respecting him. And then he has a credible accuracy with a deep ball.
Yeah.
Not the past couple of years. But that's the difference. When Josh doesn't play hero ball and takes what the defense gave him and extend plays with his legs and the running game works, that's when they're at their best. And the defense always give them opportunities to get the ball back. I think that defense is top 10 right now. So I think that's the difference. And now I think they match up well. We've seen this matchup before. I think they match up well. And I think they're gonna be able to stop the running game. Now we can run cover 2, cover 4 to stop the top on top, and then we can rush the passer. I think Buffalo Bills will get to 2 of this week.
For sure. Is that to you the game that stands out the most this weekend?
For NFL?
Yeah, for NFL.
Oh, you already know what game stand out the most to me. It's tonight.
I mean, oh my God, what am I talking about? Thursday night, not the weekend. Forget about the weekend tonight. What in particular stands out for you for this game? Because obviously we were going to mention Green Bay. They had to come back against New Orleans. I was watching a lot of that game. Very impressive comeback, because the Saints have been playing extremely well. What stands out to you so far from them these past 2 weeks?
Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay.
Resiliency, man, to be able to come back and stop them. 18 unanswered points. Mm-hmm. Defense picked up well. Obviously, Derek Carr goes out with an injury. Rashad Gary has 3 sacks. I mean, that's the difference. That's the second half. That's how you adjust. I think that's what I love the most. I know Jordan Love is not going to pick up these huge numbers. We don't expect him to. But I think when you come in as a team and come back and do 18 unanswered points to win by 1 point, and we just lost the week prior to by 1 point, Not too
Not too
shabby,
shabby.
man.
Not too, we're saying
We
the
got a long way to
consent.
go, though. We got a long,
Yeah.
long way to go. Every week is going to be a tough game. Now we got Aaron Jones back. We have Christian Watson back this game. So I think that was kind of the difference because AJ Dillon is not that type of running back. He's a bruiser. He's not the guy you're going to give too many creative plays into. He's not a big screen guy. That's Jones. That's his forte. You've seen that in the first game against the Bears, what he can do and how he can set himself apart. So I'm looking forward to that. Them kind of acclimate him slowly, and I think Matt LaFleur does a great job doing so. But
Yeah.
the other game that's exciting, I think the Browns and the Ravens. I think
Oh
this
yes.
this is going to be a good one. Obviously, Nick Chubb is out. You get Kareem Hunt. I think the running game will still be potent. Deshaun Watson is going to go against a good defense, and they know each other. They know each other well. Miles
Very
Garrett,
familiar.
I'm looking to see if he's going to be a factor because he has a hard time with the read option RPOs. So we're going to see. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be obviously in the trenches starting out, and then what can these two black quarterbacks do? I hate to say two black quarterbacks, but we got a lot of black quarterbacks now, bro. I'm
We do,
excited.
man. I like it. Absolutely, man. And now getting into our next topic of college football, Oregon kind of completely just outplaying Colorado from the jump. Or bro, that was the when Bo Nix scored that touchdown right before halftime. I was like,
When he
just pack
yeah,
back it up. And I mean, he was just exceptional throughout through three touchdown passes. They won 42-6. And this is, I mean, we were mentioning, hey, don't build the hype up too much with Colorado. We know that look, I'm just saying because there was some, oh man, like they're going all the way to the college football playoff, which
who said
missed,
that,
bro. There
bro?
were some people
They don't
we
know
didn't
football.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
We knew
That's what
this was
I'm
going to
saying.
happen.
We because we said Oregon USC. We've been saying for a while Oregon and USC. That's the test. And
Yes,
teams like this, let's just be honest. Teams like this, they're just at a different caliber,
yeah,
and they're
for
in that
sure.
because they got Bo Nix and Caleb Williams. They're going to put up points.
It wasn't even that, bro. It wasn't even Bo Nix. It was the running game. And we knew that they had trouble with the running game with the three teams they played with TCU,
Yeah.
Nebraska, a mobile quarterback as well. And so I knew that was going to be a problem. But whoever thought they were going to go to the national championship, I said they're going to win 9 games.
Nine
They're
games,
going to
yeah,
win 9
yeah,
games.
for sure.
They can beat USC for sure. It's going to go to a dogfight. They can beat USC. That USC defense is terrible, bro.
Hey,
They average
it's
they
gonna be the
average
quarterback
21.
shootout. It's gonna be
Yeah,
the quarterback
that's
shootout.
exactly what's
I
going to
can't wait.
be. And eventually, I think, man, it's but we're going to stay with Oregon. We're going to stay with Oregon. I knew it was going to be bad. I think that fake punt really solidified things
Yeah.
because they had that momentum and then that changed. And then they don't have depth. They don't have a pass rusher. They don't have the depth at linebacker.
Right.
And then that offensive line,
Man,
he couldn't do anything.
at all.
Nothing.
Didn't have any time to do anything.
Right. It doesn't matter what play caller you're gonna
It's just
do.
like,
That
hey,
offensive line, yeah.
I can't do anything.
Bro, it was not like just one person getting back there. It was everybody.
Yeah,
It was a
exactly.
party.
It looked very what were
Yeah.
you gonna say? I feel like I knew what you were about to say.
No, I was gonna.
Oh, man.
It's a party in the backfield on Shador's expense. That's what I was gonna say.
I cut you off.
No, you're good, bro. You're good, bro. Because it was
I was just gonna say, KC it reminded me of KC Tampa Bay when like when Mahomes was like running the entire. It almost was like that. Like that's how it felt.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it was, bro. It was sad, bro. He wasn't able to sit down. He wasn't able to go through his progressions. I mean, sometimes he held the ball too long. I think that's if we're nitpicking at Shador Sanders' game. I think he holds the ball way too long. You got to get it out. Either when you scroll, just throw it out of bounds, or don't try to play hero ball. This podcast, you're going to continue to hear that because we're getting in the thick of the schedule, and a lot of quarterbacks want to play hero ball and put it on their shoulders. No, this is a team effort. But there's a lot of things happen with this offensive line that allowed the Oregon to do what they wanted. They were blitzing him. They were sending everybody everywhere. He couldn't get the ball out anyway. So they had their ticket, bro. Oregon is real against them, but Oregon's about to play some great teams. Oregon is not as good as people think they are. They haven't played anybody yet. They haven't. Their strength of schedule is pretty weak. They're not going to play anybody until later.
They're not fighting
down.
for clicks. They're not fighting for clicks. They're fighting.
Yeah, I really took that. I'm like, all right, bro, y'all are really hating. All right, pal. Play for clicks. That man ain't.
You were doing some deep research for how does Coach Prime put the.
Oh, we're not playing for clicks. We're playing for wins, bro. He literally changed around a team that was 1-11 last year, bro.
Yeah,
they're 3-1. That's still a win.
It's a win.
They're sold out. Win. Ticket sales. Win. They're getting recruits. They're getting people. You know what I'm saying? They're not playing for no clicks. Obviously, it's going to take a couple years to build a program like Colorado. Bro, that's why these coaches be hating because he's getting all the press because he's Deion Sanders. Bro, you know how hard it is to turn around a 1-11 team?
Super hard.
Super extreme hard, man.
Stop hating, guys. Come on.
Yes, bro.
Get that hate out.
That really was like, oh, we're playing. The Cinderella story is over. No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's just started.
When they win their bowl game, that's just the start of it.
Yeah, man.
They're going to win 9 games. They're going to beat USC. They're going to beat Utah. Utah been in some dog fights.
Oh, you got them against Utah?
Yeah, I got them against you. I think because Westcom will be back. He'll be more healthier. He'll be rested.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah, Travis Hunter be rested. I think they'll get that offense straightened out here eventually. But I think they could beat USC. I think they could beat Utah. The rest of the games are, whatever.
I just want to say Travis Hunter would not have made up this deficit.
No,
some people were saying if they had Travis Hunter, I was like, guys, no.
Unless Travis Hunter could kick, slide, and block.
He might be the GOAT if he could have pulled that.
Right. It would have probably been better on defense with these deep balls and the confusion with the secondary, maybe.
There would have been some busty plays.
It would have still been like 28 or 35 points on that board, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And now getting to our next topic with Ohio State's close win versus Notre Dame. The Buckeyes won.
What a good game.
That was a really good game. The Buckeyes won 17-14 on the road, and Kyle McCord converted play after play on the final drive, capped with a perfectly executed 1-yard scoring plunge by Trey Nunn with 1 second left to give them the win. And like you said, this was really one of the best games this past Saturday. We knew it was going to be, these are 2 top 10 teams. We knew it was going to be a dogfight. What did you think about, to me, like Kyle McCord? He was like one of the main standouts because he delivered. We kind of needed to see, are you going to deliver in the big moments? Like, you're an Ohio State quarterback. There's going to be that expectation. What did you think overall about this win for them?
This topped the TCU and Colorado game. I don't know if you remember me saying that it's going to be hard to top that game. This topped that game. Bro, everybody had Notre Dame beating Ohio State. They said Ohio State was not going to come out alive. This was to the wire. I am a fan of Hartman. For him to come from NC State, no, not NC State. He came from Wake Forest. I can't remember. Hold up. See, this is we're doing live. We're doing live. Oh my goodness, where did he come from? This does not make us bad.
It doesn't make us bad podcasters. It just makes us honest podcasters. Okay?
Yeah, sometimes you don't know.
We don't have screens in front of us where we could just, hey, screen man.
Hold up. I got something. Wait, hold up. He came from. It still doesn't tell me. It still doesn't tell me.
As we proceed, give you what you need. Okay. Please.
Did you find it?
I still don't find it either.
Oh my goodness. But anywho,
I think it's the first time we've actually searched something like, hey, hold up. Let's finish that take.
Oh, I think it was like Wake Forest or something. Okay. I think it was Wake Forest because they play NC State all the time. So that's a ACC team. I think it was Wake Forest because I remember when they played, he had 2 interceptions when he played with Wake Forest against NC State, and they say, "Oh, NC State got his number." Okay, now we got the Rain Man
Yeah.
brain going. Okay, I became a fan of Hartman. That man can stand in a pocket. I don't know what he did in a transition from Wake Forest to to Notre Dame, but he's playing like he has gold in his veins, ice in his
Yeah.
veins. Like he stood in there, he delivered a couple times. He was accurate. I mean, obviously not he didn't have these crazy numbers because Ohio State defense is pretty good, but I became a fan, but McCord, bro, he showed us that he can play big time minutes and he can deliver. What a gutsy call on that goal line. I really thought they were gonna do a dumb play and do like a rollout or something like that, but they was like, you know what, we're gonna stick to the running game. The running game's been working with Henderson, 104 yards, get you a touchdown. So
Yeah.
that's how they scored both times, running the ball. So I love the play call. I thought it was going to get cute with it, but they did not. But this game, I was biting my nails the whole time. I was like, bro, how do you keep Westcom under wraps? Marvin Harrison Jr., they kept him under wraps. Obviously, I think he got hit really bad. I can't remember. He got hit pretty bad, but they kept him under wraps. But all these other guys start eating. So, yeah,
Absolutely, bro.
I'm
This
a
was a
fan of
game.
Hartman.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a good game.
Absolutely. And now getting to our most intriguing Week 5 game. For me, LSU Ole Miss is a really intriguing one because LSU they
Excuse
were
me.
coming off of a they've had an impressive offensive performance against Mississippi State. Ole Miss
Mhm.
had a loss against Alabama, so both teams are kind of coming off two different outcomes.
Excuse me.
Some both teams have had really overachieved in games and then underachieved in certain games. So I think that contrast is going to be really interesting to see because the SEC West, it's going to be a really competitive division this year. And it really it's going to be one of those years where we really see it's going to come down to one or two games as always, but specifically this year because Alabama, even though they did beat Ole Miss, this is not the same Alabama team that we're accustomed to
No,
seeing. That's just overly
no.
dominant. But to you, what is your most intriguing Week 5 game?
It's it's a bunch of them. This week is stacked
Yeah,
again.
man.
I got Utah, Oregon State.
Oh yeah,
Cam Rising might be coming back this game. They're going to start him. Is he going to be ready? What they're going to do? What's the game plan? Because these past 4 games, they've been doing a dual, like going with 2 quarterbacks, one dual threat quarterback, one guy who stands in the pocket and delivers. So I'm not sure if they're going to be ready to get him acclimated or how will they do that? Are they going to
mm,
slow play it? And then Oregon State is playing great football. They've been looking good. That running game, that passing game has looked really well on machine. So Utah's number 10, they got a lot to lose. And then you come down to Kansas and Texas. I think this is my number 1 game. I talked to Makai about this several times that Texas
yeah,
is not back. Kansas looked good. They're finally into the top 25 when they should have already been in the top 25. We know
yeah.
this as a basketball team, but the secondary has played great. 5 interceptions in the first 5 games. They're looking really good. The front 7 looks good. I
Mm,
think the quarterback situation is still kind of rocky, but I think they can go toe to toe with Texas. Obviously, Texas played Baylor. Baylor quarterback situation is not that good. I thought it was going to be a better game because it's a rival. So I
right.
think this is going to be a better game for them. And then last but not
Last but not
least,
least,
Notre Dame Duke. I'm still high on Duke. I think Duke is obviously they surprised teams already. They're going to surprise some more. Notre Dame coming off the loss, big game versus Ohio State.
yeah.
Can Hartman come back and get a W? Excuse me, get a W for his team. Can this running game continue to work with
Mm,
the big guy? I think this game is going to be really well. They match up well on paper.
yes,
So
very evenly matched.
this is going to be a good one. But like I said, I'm becoming a fan. I'm probably going to be watching this game. And then my Gators play Kentucky. I'll
Talk
probably
to him.
try to dual threat
You're
this
like,
three,
hey.
put it both of them out there. But yeah, I'm becoming a fan of Hartman, man. He's a decent quarterback. I think he'll get drafted probably 5th or 6th round.
The most chaotic watching experience is when I'm watching one game on my computer, then I got the iPad, and then the TV. I'm like, I gotta
You
stop
don't
doing
know
this.
which one. Yeah, you know
What
which
am I
one to
looking
look at.
at?
I'm like, oh, and then you got the volume up on one of them, and you're
Like
like,
my
no, I don't want
AirPod.
that one. Yeah, exactly. I don't want that one. Put the volume on this one.
That's hilarious. And now get into the Canelo Jermell Charlo middleweight title fight this Saturday night. Obviously, Canelo always has a big fight in September. This upcoming fight is one where Charlo is moving up 2 divisions to face Canelo, and this is not the first time in boxing history a fighter has done this. But Charlo does have the height advantage against Canelo, but is coming off a severe hand injury, and Canelo just, as we know, brings so much power, pressure, and can cut the ring off just very well. I'm still going to favor Canelo in this fight. The height advantage is going to be interesting because we have seen that has been something that's tempered Canelo in some fights, but overall he's been able to shield it off. What stands out to you in this fight? And also just, Canelo is getting older, but I still feel as though he's just that he still can pull off great performances, great fights, knows how to not do too much in the ring and just still have that balance and speed with the power. What stands out to you the most in this match?
So one of my concerns is for Charlo, like when he's going up 2 weights, obviously he's getting more muscle mass. Is he going to be as quick as he was in the other weight class? Can he sustain that quickness, because he's going to need it? Like you said, Canelo loves cutting the ring off. He loves pressure fighting, but he could counter as well. So I don't know if that's going to be a factor. Is he going to have that same speed? But I do think Charlo has great IQ as a boxer. I think he will be able to adjust. But my concern for Canelo, if he comes out like the previous fight that I think he lost, when we was just like Canelo didn't look like himself. I don't know if
the last one he won. I think it was the one the heavyweight one. It was
before that one. He did. Yeah. He just didn't look like himself. The guy wasn't doing anything special. I can't forget his name, but Canelo came out, soft. He wasn't countering like he was. Like it was something about him that was off. If he comes out soft and weak, I think Charlo is going to be able to take advantage of the first couple of rounds. Yes. He's going to be able to capitalize on the first couple of rounds, because Canelo is a guy who takes the first 2 rounds and set the pace. He's the pace setter in most of his fights, except Triple G. They go at it all the time. That was a good series.
Still that first fight, I still honestly, I still like to rewatch, because those were some good fights. Really,
they were going back and forth, a lot of adjusting. I have never seen 2 boxers adjust as much in this century.
Elite adjusting.
It was insane.
Like a masterclass, bro. And I'm gonna say this: Terrence Crawford. He has mentioned there's one fight he really wants coming up, and he wants a Canelo fight. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but that would be that would be spectacular, though. That would really be spectacular, bro.
I think boxing is running out of people to fight.
Crawford Canelo would do massive numbers, man.
They're running out of people to fight each other, bro. Crawford's gonna fight a vending machine next, bro.
He's
gonna fight a rope. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Who do we want Gervonta to fight? Probably Shakur Stevenson, right? That fight still hasn't happened. Or Devin?
No.
Who do you want? Who do you want Gervonta to fight?
There's nobody else that can beat him. No, Devin Haney's not ready. He's not ready. He should have lost his last fight. Bro, you got picked apart. They saved you, bro. He was countering you like crazy. He clearly lost that fight. He did. Yes.
I can't stand the fights. I can't stand the fights where it gets to decision and you know who won the fight, but it's like, are y'all like insulting my intelligence?
Right. We know what y'all doing, bro. Y'all try to keep him up so boxing can be still relevant. You want it. Bro. He got picked apart. He was getting wobbled the whole fight.
How does the guy you beat look better than you do when you get out of the He let him look like he was hurt. Hit at all.
But they probably snuck him an extra cash envelope. Like, we know you won, bro. It's for boxing, bro. But I don't know. I'll take Shakur Stevenson over Devin Haney any day. But I mean, I don't think anybody can beat Tank right now, bro. Nobody want to get to the fire to find that out.
Do you think he's gonna fight near the end of the year, or do you think he's gonna come back beginning of next year? Because he fought this past year he fought in January, then came back in April. Do you think he's probably going to do that again?
Yeah, there's no one out there.
Yeah.
The two guys that we're talking about can't
Mhm.
beat him. They're not on his level. Devin Haney's definitely not on his level.
Oh gosh, that would be easy work.
Easy work, bro.
But
That's
the Shakur one would be more
it'll,
intriguing to
it'll
me.
be
That would be more
it'll
intriguing.
be interesting, but I don't
Yeah,
think he has enough. He has enough power to beat. Because if you're gonna beat Tank, you have to get him when he's in the fire, trying to figure out what you do
yeah.
during the fight. That's how he adjusts. Like he loves like putting himself in harm's way to figure it out. If you're gonna beat him, you gotta get him then. Like you can't let him figure you out. Obviously, you can watch all the film you want, but once you get in the ring and feel like the timing of everything, once he gets your timing and that triggers that he figures out calculates what I'm gonna
That's what
do.
Calvin Ford says. That's what a trainer says. He's just calculate. He's just downloading the data. He's just
Yes.
downloading the data. That's what he does.
He's that type of fighter who's willing to get in the heat to calculate and download that data and use it against you. And you think you're beating him. You're thinking you're
Exactly.
winning. Okay.
Gonna be
Everybody.
gonna be like Ryan Garcia going down around two.
Right, bro.
Came out of
And
nowhere.
everybody else. Like he was, I forgot the one fight. It was like, we beat you. He was like, man, shut up. He was talking to his West Coast, and then he knocked him out the 6th round on the ropes. Because he was doing that the whole entire fight. He was just learning what you're doing, bro. He's
Yeah,
just
man.
calculating the data.
Such a smart fighter. Such a
Yeah,
smart fighter.
you gotta beat him then. You gotta touch him then. There's nobody that's really touched Tank in a minute. Like touched him, like made him like, oh, whoa,
Yeah.
don't want to do that again.
Nah.
So
How far do you see so for the Canelo Charlo? Do you think it's going to be a decision one, or do you think Canelo takes him out like ninth or 10th round? How do you see this one going? I feel like he's going to take him out 9th round.
See, this one I couldn't figure out because Canelo really doesn't knock people out.
True.
Not recent. Like, I mean, maybe like after the Floyd Mayweather fight, he got better. He learned how to counter, and then he was knocking a couple people out. Like the Triple G series and the couple fights he had, he hasn't knocked anybody out. He's went to decision. He's not that type of fighter anymore. He's like literally like Floyd Mayweather, IQ of boxing, knowing how to get points, knowing how to surviving and countering. Like he's not going for the knockout. But if that fight did happen with Bud, oh, you better believe he gonna have to knock Bud out.
I'm telling you, that's why that would be so intriguing.
Because Bud gonna outbox him. It's gonna be a good one. But no, I won't even say that Bud will outbox him because both of them have high IQ, and we've seen how Canelo can adjust to different fighters during the fight.
It would be one of the smartest fights we've ever seen.
It will. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't think anybody will knock each other out because it's not like Canelo is a one-sided fighter. He's not just a pressure fighter. He's a counter as well. He'll pressure fight, he'll counter you, and then he'll take it to you. So it's a lot of things.
Neither of them would go for it. Neither of them, because they would be too hesitant. They would be like, I got to size you up, and they would be sizing each other up like through 12 rounds. They'd be like, I'm not really going to go for it.
But I think I think they'll stay on toe-to-toe. Now that Bud showed that against, I forgot his name. See?
Errol Spence.
But Errol Spence, who I thought was good.
Oh, yeah. Errol Spence has got it. He's got it, man. And
I was wrong. It was a long day that day too, bro, when I said that. So
those long days when you really get to take off, man, I'm feeling confident.
I was just gonna say anything.
And now getting to our first album review with Doja Cat, Scarlet. In her new album has unique beats with each song differentiating from the regular stream of pop. There's many themes in the project such as growth, self-love, and embracing oneself for their flaws. And I remember the last time I think we reviewed a Doja Cat album. You were like, "Hey man, I didn't listen. I don't listen to her." And I'm guessing it's the same.
I just wanted to save it for the cast to say like, yeah, I didn't listen to that. I don't support her music. So
again, Doja Cat fans, he said it. He said it, not me.
I don't support her. She's wearing demon stuff, and she's like, not with black. Like it's a bunch of stuff that I don't support. I don't give you airwaves. I don't do that. I don't support something I don't believe in or yeah. I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction. I'm not gonna put money in your pocket. No, sir. But I want to do that live so people know I'm not a fan of Doja Cat. She goes shave off her skull for all I care. She shave it off her eyebrows.
Britney Spears.
Yes, she headbutted people. No, I'm joking. She ain't headbutt nobody. I
But
don't know why I said that. She look like she
it's,
headbutt somebody though.
yo, you crazy.
Am I lying? She like she headbutt
She
somebody.
does. She does. She does look like that. She does look like the type to be the aggressor. This is listeners. This is look. This is. There's two times I really had to like carry the weight of the world on my shoulder. The Seven review when Savon when you literally forgot that we were reviewing Seven, and I was like, hey man, so this is what happened in the movie. What'd you think about? I don't even know why we did that. We needed like me and Trenton. Really likes Seven. What we should do is like re-review that when all of us have seen it. That's what we should do with Seven.
I
Seven.
see bits and pieces of it. What's in the box?
That's what
What's in the box?
I'm telling you, man. We
Yeah.
just rewatch it, and then all three of us can review it, and we've like all seen it.
They said Denzel was supposed to be in that movie, but he said it was too dark.
I'm trying to
That's
think
what he
of how that
said.
would have been Denzel and Brad
Yeah.
Pitt in a movie.
He just said it was too dark because it was Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, Will Smith was supposed to be in The Matrix too.
That would have been weird. He was doing Wild
It
Wild
would have
West.
been Will Smith and Lawrence Fishburne.
Bro, that'd been weird, bro. Like his tone, his voice, like, nah, bro. I'm glad you did do it. That's the best thing that ever happened
Wait,
to
it
it.
was that in Django. I'm pretty sure he like
Yes.
declined too.
He declined Django because he wanted it to be a love story. He was like, it would have been the greatest black love story. Because he was going to go save his wife and all that stuff. I mean, that would have been cool, but I like this better.
I like
he was
Jamie.
able to, I like Jamie because he brings the comedy to it. And then, but even Tarantino had trouble with Jamie Foxx playing a role. So, but no, I think it
Good
came
old
out
Tarantino.
well. Yeah, Tarantino is a good writer. One more film. Man. I still haven't seen Inglourious Bastards yet.
Oh, we got it. That's another one we got to review.
I keep seeing the clips, but I haven't. You know, it takes me a while to just like want to just like watch something. I don't know.
What's the next one we should review? A trend: Inglourious Bastards or Seven? Which one you want? When do you want to do Inglourious Bastards?
Probably Inglourious.
Yeah, let's do Inglourious.
Because I keep seeing the
I want to watch
videos of Tarantino saying how hard it was to get the German guy cast. So he went with keep forgetting his name. He's such a great actor. He was in Django.
Oh, he was also with Inspector.
Yes,
he also with Inspector as well.
Yes.
One of the last James Bond movies with Daniel Craig.
No, it was good.
All right, guys. I'm sorry, Doja Cat. Okay, I'm gonna get my review. Doja Cat. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I've been talking about the Doja Cat. But I mean, when I listen to it, she's a very versatile artist. She has a lot of different pockets she can go into. Like, it can be up tempo songs, it can be slower pace. And I get like she has the star potential in a lot of she can make a lot of hits, but at some point, I feel as though with the fan base and with the drama, like because we talk about certain artists when they have negative publicity outside of the music, because I don't think the sales were as good as it like her last album. I think sometimes that can bring down the hype of and there were quality songs in this project. I really hope she can start to understand like the public perception does matter for you as an artist. Remember when Kanye's public perception went down, people were like, oh, like he's not the same guy. He's not the same beloved artist that we had. So that's something I hope with Doja she can kind of balance, because so many of these tracks I'm like, yo, she actually does have talent. She has skill. I just wish she could be have that better decision making outside of the music. You know,
maybe
what I mean?
she should be in chat rooms with racists.
Oh, goodness,
maybe she should wear the things she wears and say the things she says.
That's simple. Savon's corner. Savon's corner. Whenever Savon, I'm just gonna Savon's corner. Savon's corner.
Hey man, I knew you would like it. I mean, because you see the good in people.
I honestly am I'm too optimistic sometimes. I really am. Savon keeps it real. I'm the one who's like, come on, man, you got to give him a shot. But
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying she's not a bad artist. It's just I'm not gonna,
listen to her music,
promote her, listen to a Gary Airways, nothing like that, man.
Is there any other artists you're like when they drop something new, you're like, I'm not like they're saying Kanye might drop a new surprise album. Are you gonna just be like, nah, I'm not listening?
If it's like Donda, no.
Come
You know I
on,
didn't
Donda
like
was
Donda.
good. Donda
No,
was
it was
good.
not, bro. I forgot who reviewed it with.
Reese, because
Maurice.
we're doing the CLB and Donda
Yes,
comparison.
bro. I didn't get. He said I didn't get past like number 8. I didn't get past number 3. It wasn't good, bro. It wasn't good to me. It
CLB
wasn't.
definitely was the better album. Definitely was the
Oh,
better
for
album.
sure. CLB is starting to. I won't say a
It's
classic.
climbing up the ranks.
Yeah,
He's doing
it
that
got
thing
some.
again. He
It got
always
some
says it.
things on there.
He
Yeah,
always says it. Just give it
I like
time.
CLB when it
Yeah.
first came out. Like it had some great tracks on there. I mean,
Is it wrong for me to say I think Views is a classic? I think Views is a classic. I think it is, bro. I
now
think
you
Views.
say it's a classic.
No, I'm just saying. Like, I
Now
always come on, bro.
You and Reese, bro. Y'all was talking about some of them songs should never been on the album and all that
I
stuff.
was wrong about Fire and Desire. I was wrong about Fire and Desire. I was
Yes, you
wrong.
were.
I'll admit
You're
it.
wrong about Summer Interlude too. That's a freaking great
Yeah.
song, bro.
Whole album's wild.
Transition into Fire and Desire.
Whole
Yeah,
album's wild.
Views. Yeah, bro. Views is a classic, bro. From bro, like man, keep the family close. That's how you start something, bro. The only
All
song
of
I
my
did
Let's
like.
Just Be Friends are friends I don't have
Oh,
anymore. Hit so hard. I'm just gonna be. I'm gonna be
all
real
of
with
my
you.
let's just be friends.
I'm like, man, I live
Right,
that.
bro. Like it hits home, bro. Like feel no ways, bro. Come on, bro. Like this has some back. Look, we doing it again.
Child's play. Why you got to fight with me at cheesecake?
Cheesecake, you know I love to go there. Hey man, we're doing it again.
We're doing it
It's
again.
a
Okay,
drinking effect.
we'll
It's a
just
drink
say
effect.
October 6th. October 6th.
I can't wait, bro. That's next week, bro. That's
Yeah, oh, that
crazy.
is. October is literally next. And now get into our next review with Leon Thomas, Electric Dusk. In his new album, there's profound lyricism and weaving of artificial and natural instrumentation, incorporation of just sonic elements traditionally viewed as out of R&B's wheelhouse. This was an album I really enjoyed a lot. I love the production in it. I believe it was like 12 or 13 songs. Concise project. He really knows. To me, he really knows how to weave, like I said, the traditional, but also the more modern sounds of R&B for production. And I think he's as a debut album. I believe this as a debut album. I think the future is really bright for him, and he can just continue to even skyrocket off a project like this. What were your initial takeaways of this, and kind of like how it sounded to you overall?
At first, it got me. Like the first couple of songs, and I'm like, it went into a realm I'm not particularly a fan of. I thought he was gonna stick to like the first song. I'm like, okay, all right, this is
Yeah,
why people ask you to write songs and all this stuff.
yeah,
Okay,
man.
all right. And then it
Good
got to, I
songwriter.
was like, yeah. And I was like, maybe if you, I think he was trying to get a different fan base, his first album, and try to, because everybody knows him as writing R&B songs and some pop songs. So I think he wanted to, as his individual artist, go into a different genre of music, which is cool, but I'm just not a fan of that type of music. I think it was really good. The lyrics were really good. You can tell
Yeah,
why he's been so successful. And
right.
I think he has, like you said, with about what's that girl name?
Doja Cat.
Doja Cat.
Yeah,
He's very versatile and
yeah.
I think he has a lot of range. And I think his biggest asset in his writing ability. So I love the concept. I love the first couple of songs, but it just dived into something. I thought the Ty Dolla Sign was gonna go back to more of an R&B type vibe, but it
Yeah.
was it was a little more. Yeah, I was like, oh,
Had a lot of
okay.
expectations for that one. Had a lot of expectations for that one.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be on the hook. It's gonna be like a banger, but it went into a
Because you know the
direction.
formula. You know the formula with the R&B Ty Dolla Sign feature. Just put him on the hook. Just put him
Yeah,
on the
Ty
hook, and it's
Dolla
gonna
Sign
go.
feature Ty Dolla Sign.
It's gonna go.
It's
That
gonna
was literally.
go.
Hold up. That literally was an album title.
Hey, he's so funny, bro. Somebody, everybody time I'm better on features. Well, Ty Dolla Sign feature Ty Dolla Sign. How about that?
And we were like, nah, we need you just on features and not a
Yeah,
full album
just
of you.
no, bro. You're
You're not
not
like
a
that.
full album guy, bro. You're a feature guy. You're the new T-Pain. That's what that's what we need. Because every hook you get on, it's a masterpiece. But what T-Pain in individual music was really good as well. But he
Yeah.
just changed the whole concept and whole listenability to songs because he was on the hook. But anywho, yeah, I thought this was going to be a more of an R&B, but it
You
obviously
kind of
he
wanted
went.
more from it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted something I can listen to. This is not something I listen to all the time. Like I don't have this type of genre in my library, so it's kind of different for me.
And now getting to our next review with Coco O's Sharing is Caring. The lyrics in this new album are heartfelt and relatable. The musical arrangements create a great atmosphere. Overall, there's a mesmerizing blend that can captivate any listener. Obviously, we've reviewed her past few singles, and there was something about this project that really just I think it flowed better than the singles individually did. I was like, man, this is like a smooth listen, and it's just I don't know what it is about when singles are put on an album. It's just so different,
Yeah.
and you can see oh this is where she was trying to go with it. It just wasn't a single like we said it wasn't a single song. She wasn't dropping single songs. She was just dropping album songs. Uh, what did you think about this project
Excuse me.
overall and just kind of the direction of it?
Yeah, I loved it. Thought it was a nice vibe.
Yes,
It was a
yes,
different. This is type of music I will listen to. I have multiple artists like her in my library.
yeah.
I know you listen to somebody that's weird, like why you don't got the other albums in your library? Because it's my music, in my
Come on,
library.
get off
Yeah,
his
my
take. Get off
fave.
his take. Get off his
Yeah,
take, man.
but no,
Let's
I
knock
thought
it
this
off.
was a vibe. I thought I thought this was a good vibe. The writing was there, the music was there. She has a nice voice.
Writing was impeccable.
No, Sharon is caring. I love the title. I love the concept. I think we reviewed Process
Hmm.
last. I think it was
Love
her
is
last
yeah.
album. Yeah, and I thought, oh, it's a process, and I thought that was very. I think this was a step up. I thought this was step to the right direction. I don't know if you feel the
We're on
same
the
way.
same
This,
page. We're on the same
yeah, I
page,
think it was
bro.
a step up.
This
She
was
definitely
improvement.
improved. Yeah.
Yes, this was
So
improvement.
I love to see that in an artist as you improve. I mean, she has a formula that works for her, and she just tweaked that formula to make an even better project and album, and as well as keeping the whole concept ability that she has as an artist. I
Yeah,
think yeah, she and we talked about this too when we did reviewed it that she's gonna be one of those indie artists for a while, low artists because of her style and the music that she has. I think that's where she wanted to be. I think that's what I said, if I'm not mistaken.
to me, you know how Yeba had the Yeba's Heartbreak
Yeah,
interlude.
yeah,
I think Coco O one day can have like her own interlude and
and
like
blow
really
up.
blow. I think she's just one feature away from blowing up. I really do. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I mean, if it does happen, I'm going to take credit for it because I said it tonight. But, but I do. I don't know if you feel the
Excuse
same
me.
way, but I do think she has that potential to like really just go off on a 2 minute interlude. I feel like she has that voice and capability. Maybe not the same. Maybe not the same as because
Yeah,
Yeb, bro.
because
Yeba's Heartbreak is just it's a
Yeba's
classic song.
voice is
Oh
so
gosh, bro,
distinguished, bro. I think
I love that
Coco's
song.
is it's a unique voice, but Yeba's is like
Maybe
distinguished.
more feature. Maybe more of a feature on a track than
Yeah,
yeah.
but I don't know who she could feature on that would make her, have that breakout like Yeba did because I mean it's Drake and you were able to get on his album and then people knew of her
Even
prior to
before,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
prior to
yeah.
that. So there
Coco's just
was
not that
yeah,
same
she's not that
visibility.
big just yet. I don't think it's going to take a more of a bigger marketing approach to be able to spring her forward in the industry. But
Yeah,
I
for sure.
think that's what she likes. I mean, she probably can still go to the grocery store. She can still do
She
like the
goes to Whole
simple
Foods all the
things.
time. Yeah, probably
Yeah.
goes to Whole Foods all the time. She probably is
She
like,
looks
hey,
like she goes to Whole Food,
yo,
bro.
she has that.
Excuse
I'm
me.
sorry. I'm sorry. She has that.
She definitely looks like she goes to Whole Food. Saturday mornings, baby. Yeah. Yeah. And she
Yep.
Ubers. She
Oh, she
Ubers.
definitely.
She doesn't drive. She doesn't believe in it. She just
Sophisticated for
Ubers.
that. Man, we're in a silly mood. Oh man. And now getting to our last review of Destiny Rogers, "Save My Love." In this new single, which was produced by collaborators, the Grammy Award winning songwriter production duo, The Stereotypes. Rogers' soulful pop vocals take center stage, and the track really sets the tone. And she's now gearing up for the release of her eagerly awaited debut album. I like this track a lot as something to build up the process for an album. I think there's room for improvement, but it's a smooth listen to me, and I like what I'm intrigued to see how this album sounds from her because I'm like there's something there, but I really want to see it like we said in a full process in a full album laid out. What were your kind of initial thoughts on this? I don't even know if you knew this artist before I put it.
No, no, never heard of her. I thought it was a typical pop song. It was a smooth listen. I think it was a typical pop song. Nothing
Yeah,
too spectacular about it. The writing was simplistic. The
that's
boom,
kind of what you
boom,
need
boom.
for a single. That's kind of what you need for
Yeah,
a single.
I think it's a single song for
Yeah, that's what I'm
sure.
saying.
I
She
think
she she
yeah.
checked that. She checked that.
Check. Oh yeah, we always see no other podcast does this. Full Scope started it first. Is it a single song or is
Yeah,
it an album song? But I think definitely it's a single song. It's a typical pop song. But like you said, I want to see if she can break out and do things differently within pop with the album. I think it all comes with the concept and her ability to be versatile with her music.
yeah.
But yeah, this was a good listen. Typical pop song.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we go to break, obviously you weren't here for the last episode when we did the a couple reviews, but obviously the Drake and SZA one, the Slime You Out, that was one that we were talking mentioning. And kind of just to reiterate what I said on the last episode, I know what you're about to do. But he's so dramatic. I know what you're about to do. It was a thumbs down for you, but I think on the album it's going to be. I think it's going to work on the album.
Yeah.
I still am holding out on that. I think it's going to flow well. I think there are some R&B tracks that can lead into to even take it to a different level. But what were your? Do you feel as though because it's so? I feel like Drake plays a different game. He's like anything I drop is going to go one. But now I want to just I'm going to give you the teaser. I said this is the old Drake. I want to make you know that it possibly could be the old Drake. What did you think about this?
So we talked about this when we couldn't do the
Yeah,
podcast. You said it was going to place at number 6 on the album. I said number 4. I think it's early,
it's early.
early
Yeah,
in the album.
yeah,
But I do think this was not a single song. This was a album song that, like you said, it will probably be, flow well within the album and give the album some context. But as an individual track, we talked about. I thought SZA should have went first, and then Drake could have came in with his real trying. He get an E for effort because we haven't heard Drake really try to sing in a long time. Like he really tried
since
to
Care
sing.
Package, since Care Package.
Yes, bro, it's his care package.
Care Package Club like days. Hold up, Days in the East was on there. Club
Oh, care
Paradise, yeah,
package.
Club, yeah. When he did
Oh,
that compilation,
but
when he
he
did that
wasn't really
compilation,
like singing. He was
heat of the
like,
moment, heat of the moment. He was even
oh,
singing on. You know
heat
what I
in the
mean?
moment.
I
That
love
really
heat of the
like,
moment.
yeah, this is a great track, but I
I'm
ain't really
sorry.
like singing.
I get what you're
But
saying
I
though.
get what you're saying too, though. Like that, I don't think that's like really singing, but he like really tried to be an R&B artist right there. I just thought SZA should have went first to set the tone, and I think her verse would have gave a different element of the track, and then you add the addition of Drake and then let
Yeah.
him finish. I just thought
I really like how he finished though. I think how he finished
yeah, it was a
that was
good
dope. That
finish.
was
It
a
was a
dope
good
finish.
finish, but I think SZA should have started. Maybe it would have been a different song. And we talked about this too, about a lot of artists putting features first. Like I talked about Drake going first on Golden Roses. How about him going first on
No
with
guidance.
No Guidance? It's a
Yeah.
bunch of other artists. Kendrick Lamar going first on it's a bunch of other artists that it just gets you to set the tone because I didn't have any expectations for it. But as soon as he started like singing, and I heard the mixing and mastering, how they try to tweak it as much as they could, and I was just like, okay, no, they
What
SZA
did you
should have
think
went
about the
first.
production? What did you think about the production on this? I thought it was impressive.
The beat was dope, but I
Yeah.
thought with his mastering, I thought they try as much as they always do with his vocals to
Yeah.
try to like really tighten it up
Tighten
so
it
it
up. Yeah, for sure.
sounds a certain type of way, but you can't negate that he really can't sing, and that's why I was like he can hold a tune. Like I'm not taking
I get
like
what you're saying. Yeah.
like doing him wrong.
Oh yes.
Like that's him really trying to sing, but it wasn't as like stressful as this track. Try you need to and the wrong thing to do. That's simple. That's not
Yeah.
like going
Very
out
simple.
so very simple. He was really trying to sing, bro. Like he drank a lot of his whiskey and
He
went
was
into
like,
the
hold up,
studio
40, grab me the box.
for the oh Nico.
Nico. You know you gotta get in
What
the
you
low
think?
check.
What you think? You think I should really sing on it? He should
Yo,
have rapped
Chubbs.
on it.
Chubbs. What's the move?
Chubbs. Hey,
What's the
what's
word?
the
What's the
uh-oh.
word?
But
He's
Can you hear
back.
me?
He's back.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm back. Yeah, I think SZA should have went first. Hopefully it gels well with the other albums. Other tracks on the album that it
Yeah.
flows well. But
We could wait.
I
We could
wasn't a
wait.
fan. Yeah, next week, next Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
That's a weird day to drop a
No, wait,
album.
it's not. Is it Wednesday?
Yeah,
It's
October
October
6th is
6th.
Wednesday.
Well, there's no way that's.
Oh, I'm tripping.
I was about to say
That's a
they're gonna have
Friday.
the Wednesday drop.
That's a Friday.
All
I'm
right,
tripping.
Drizzy.
Dropping it on Hump Day.
I don't need to do it
Okay.
Friday. I don't need to do it Friday.
Yeah, that's my bad. I looked at the wrong
I'll
day.
drop it while they work.
Yeah.
But one more thing. The Nas Magic 3. There were some other albums we were going to talk about. Diddy, Cleo. So were there any ones this past last
Diddy.
week that? Yes, sir.
Album
Yes,
of the year. Unless Drake comes with fire or anybody else comes with fire, Diddy got album of the year.
Got that on lock.
Hands down, bro. We talked about this off the air. Like he's a musical genius as well. He knows what to do. This is not his first time.
I would
doing
love
it.
to see the behind the scenes of this album, how it was created, bro.
He probably yelled at everybody. He probably it's a nightmare working with him. But he's a genius with bringing people together.
Yeah,
bringing music together, knowing what people want to listen to. Like
Bravo.
that one track with not Wiz with Lil Wayne. No.
Oh yeah.
Like he had a hand in that. Like, bro, that's people like. So yeah, his album of the year, unless Drake or Kendrick and Baby Keem drop something at the tail end of the year. Until then, he got album of the year. That's a Grammy.
Man.
That's a Grammy.
That is a Grammy album, bro. And I just want to say, like, because the funny thing I was about to say was when I told you about it, you were like, oh, okay, cool.
He's a weirdo.
But man, you cannot deny the masterclass he put together with this album. I have not been able to stop listening to this. This is an incredible project. 5 stars, 5 stars. He's gonna get a Grammy. He's gonna say something crazy on stage. But this was phenomenal. This was phenomenal, man. Absolutely. But we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back with our Snowpiercer review.